Have you ever imagined a future where stepping outside could mean risking your life? Where the heat burns your skin, storms tear cities apart, and the air itself becomes poison? By the year 2100, scientists predict that large parts of the planet could be uninhabitable. Entire regions might disappear under rising seas, while others could become deserts of unbearable heat. So, here's the question: when the surface of the Earth becomes too hostile to live on, where will humanity go? Some believe we'll colonize Mars, others imagine floating cities in the sky. But what if the real answer lies beneath our feet, in massive underground cities built to protect us from the chaos above? Picture this: miles of tunnels illuminated by artificial suns, farms growing food without sunlight, and entire societies thriving in silence, far below the ruined world above. It sounds like science fiction, but projects like these are already being designed. Could it be that the future of humanity isn't up in the stars but deep underground? And if that's true, then another question arises: how will we adapt? How will we live, breathe, and grow food in total darkness? And more importantly, will this new world make us safer, or slowly erase what it means to be human? Because survival always comes with a price. So today, we'll explore what the year 2100 might really look like when Earth's last cities move underground. By the mid-21st century, the signs are already here, and they're impossible to ignore. Heat waves, once called record-breaking, now happen every year. Megastorms destroy coastal cities faster than we can rebuild them. Crops fail, rivers dry up, and forests, once the lungs of the planet, turn into ashes under endless droughts. Scientists have warned us for decades: by 2100, average global temperatures could rise by up to 4 degrees Celsius. That might sound small, but in reality, it's catastrophic. It means entire ecosystems collapsing. It means hundreds of millions of climate refugees searching for places to survive. But where will they go when every corner of the surface burns or floods? Some nations have already begun to prepare. Research centers in the Arctic are testing self-sustaining underground habitats protected from radiation, extreme heat, and violent weather. Even military bunkers are being redesigned, not for war, but for climate survival. The logic is simple: the deeper you go, the more stable the world becomes. Underground, temperatures barely change. There are no hurricanes, no rising seas, no ultraviolet radiation. Just silence and safety. So here's the haunting question: will humanity's last refuge be not among the stars, but beneath the ruins of our own world? And if so, how far will we go to build life in the dark? Because to survive the coming century, we might have to abandon the very surface that gave us life. Before imagining the future, let's look at the past, because humanity has already lived beneath the surface before. Thousands of years ago, in what is now Turkey, people carved entire worlds into stone. The Derinkuy underground city could shelter more than 20,000 people, complete with ventilation shafts, water wells, schools, and even places of worship. It wasn't science fiction, it was survival. When invaders came or the surface became unsafe, life simply moved below. Fast forward to modern times, in the deserts of Australia lies Subterranean, a town where temperatures can reach over 45 degrees Celsius. The locals didn't flee. They went underground. Homes, hotels, churches, all built into the rock, naturally cooled and protected from the scorching heat above. And in Beijing, an entire underground city was constructed during the Cold War, with over 85 square kilometers of tunnels, capable of housing millions in case of nuclear attack. So maybe the question isn't if we can live underground, but when we'll have to. Because history shows we've done it before. Only now, it won't be a few communities hiding from invaders. It could be all of humanity, hiding from the planet itself. These examples aren't just relics, they're blueprints. And as technology evolves, they're becoming the foundation for something far more ambitious: the underground civilizations of 2100. But what will those cities look like? How will they be powered, fed, and connected to the world above? That's where the future truly begins. Imagine descending hundreds of meters below the Earth's surface, not into darkness, but into a new kind of civilization. By 2100, underground cities may stretch for miles, built with bioluminescent walls, artificial suns, and vast chambers that feel as alive as the surface once was. These cities wouldn't be made of concrete bunkers, but of self-healing materials that breathe, recycle air, and regulate temperature on their own. Streets would glow with soft, programmable light. Rivers of purified water would run through transparent tubes. And towering vertical farms would rise like green skyscrapers beneath the soil. The surface might be unlivable, scorched by heat and storms, but below, life would go on. Families would live in layered districts. Schools, theaters, hospitals, and markets would all exist underground, powered by fusion energy and vast geothermal systems tapping the planet's core. In this world, day and night would no longer exist. Time would be artificial, seasons would be simulated. Humanity would have total control over its environment, but also total dependence on it. And that raises a chilling question. When everything, from the air you breathe to the light you see, is manufactured, does nature still exist? Or does the last piece of Earth fade when we finally leave the surface behind? Because in 2100, our greatest achievement might not be colonizing new planets. It might be rebuilding our own world underground. To survive underground, technology becomes more than convenience, it becomes life itself. Every breath, every drop of water, every flicker of light must be engineered with precision. Energy would come from geothermal power, drawn directly from the planet's heat. Deep turbines could generate enough electricity to sustain entire underground districts without sunlight. Fusion reactors might supply clean, limitless power, a miracle of science buried in the dark. Food production would rely on vertical hydroponic farms, where plants grow in stacked layers under LED light tuned to mimic the sun. Water vapor from underground condensation systems would irrigate crops, while waste is recycled into nutrients. Nothing is wasted. Everything circulates. Air, perhaps the most vital element, would be filtered through biological membranes, living systems using algae and engineered moss to convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. Imagine breathing air that's not just filtered, but grown. Massive AI-controlled climate systems would manage humidity, pressure, and temperature, creating an illusion of open air in a closed world. But it's more than just survival. It's an ecosystem designed entirely by human hands. And yet, what happens if the system fails? What if one glitch in the code, one power outage, means an entire city suffocates in the dark? In escaping the chaos of the surface, humanity may have built a perfect machine, but also a perfect dependency. A future where life itself runs on a switch. In the underground cities of 2100, life would be unlike anything we've known. There would be no sunrise, only artificial dawn projected onto digital skies. Children might grow up never seeing real clouds, never feeling the warmth of natural sunlight on their skin. Parks would exist, but they'd be made of synthetic grass and bioluminescent trees designed to glow in the eternal twilight. Transportation would run through magnetic tunnels, silent and efficient. Communication would happen through holographic projections, connecting districts miles apart. Festivals, concerts, even sports, all recreated within digital environments where sound and light replace the chaos of weather and time. But beneath all this progress, a question would remain. Can humanity truly thrive without nature? Can we build paradise without the world that shaped us? Perhaps, in these underground civilizations, we'll learn humility, that survival isn't about conquering nature, but coexisting with it, even when it's no longer within reach. And maybe one day, when the Earth heals, the descendants of those who went below will rise again, to see real sunlight, to walk on open ground, and to remember that before we lived beneath the planet, we belonged to it. Because the story of humanity has never been about where we live, but how far we're willing to go to survive.